the process about how songwriters make money from these songs that we write for these artists, so that you guys can understand my intention behind this work that I'm doing right now. So I was talking about it earlier, and I really like this description, so I'm just gonna give y'all the description. So imagine this. Imagine you've been working for this company for a long time, right? And wait, hold on. I'm turning the comments off because they're distracting, and I just want to talk to y'all real quick. So imagine you've been working at this job, right, for 10 years, 15 years, and then all of a sudden you were making, like, let's say your salary was $100,000. So you've been making $100,000. You've been getting raises every, year, whatever. And like, you can pay your mortgage. You can pay for your kids. You can buy your food. You can pay for your car. You can pay for your life off of your job. And then all of a sudden, something changes in the company. And now the salary for that same job drops from $100,000 to $30,000. And you're already living in, a nice, neighborhood. You've got a mortgage already. You've got a car note. You've got kids. You've got all these things. And you've got a 15-year career where you only have experience professionally as a songwriter, writing music, right? Because that's a career path, is writing songs. There was a time when songwriters used to make so much money from writing album cuts. Because during the time when the format was CDs and tapes and radio, publishing was a way more lucrative revenue stream. But because of streaming and the way that the payout structure is, that is decided on by the Copyright Royalty Board, by the way, which is the government. The government controls how much we make from streaming, just like they control how much the people make for minimum wage. It's the same kind of concept. So we don't have any control over how much money we make for our royalties, right? So it is a known fact that since streaming started, that songwriters' income has taken a nosedive. A nosedive. Publishing is the only stream of income we make off of the song. When an artist does a record deal, right? They negotiate an advance and like a budget for like their recording costs, marketing costs, all these things. And they negotiate points on the master for their record. So what does that come with? Money, royalties. So they get a performance royalty. They get their points. They get sound exchange money. They get tour money. They get merch money. They get sponsorship deals and advertisement deal money. They get all the money. The only piece of pie that songwriters have is publishing. One income stream, one source, one. That's why it's such a big deal when artists take publishing from songwriters, because it's the only thing they have, right? On top of the fact that the income has nosedived because of the way streaming pays now. So now we went from there being this big middle class and people being able to pay their bills, put the kids through school, take nice vacations and whatever, and enjoy the fruits of their labor. Because by the way, songwriters should be able to live a comfortable life as well. We got the world dancing. You know what I'm saying? We write the songs that people get married to, people cry to, people have, have joy and happiness to, sadness to. We write the soundtrack to people's lives. So yes, the artist is the vessel and the vehicle that brings the song to the world. We're the ones that create the song. Everybody matters to the process. There's no one person that's more important than the other in the process. Let's break it down like a car, for instance. So let's take, I don't know, a Chevy, just throwing out a brand. So you've got a Chevy, I don't know what the different makes and models are, so I'm just gonna say a blue Chevy, right? That Chevy has 4 wheels, has 2 windshield wipers, it has an engine, it has seats, it has all these different parts. And some of those parts might be outsourced, maybe manufactured by different companies, but the name brand is Chevy. Now, does that mean that the company that created the tires shouldn't get paid a livable wage because it's not their name that's the name brand on the name for the car? No. That's not how collaboration works. That's not how working together works. It just isn't. And like I said, there was a time when publishing was making more money, but now it's not, right? So now it's taking a nosedive and artists are still taking publishing. That's why me speaking about Beyonce taking publishing is such a big deal. Because like I've said in my previous videos, she is the biggest artist in the world. They call her the Michael Jackson of our generation. And I deeply, deeply believe that. And I want her to continue to be the Michael Jackson of our generation. All my homies work with her. I want them to continue to write and create records and thrive and make y'all dance and have fun and give y'all songs to get, make babies too. All of that. That's amazing. I want songwriters to make a living doing that the way we used to. If artists are going to be in the publishing, is it not fair for songwriters to get points? Like, there needs to be some give and take, right? But there's no give and take. It's only this is it. I take your publishing, that's it. No, you can't have any points. How dare you for even asking me? No, you can't have no points. No, you can't participate in the sound exchange royalties. No, I'm not going to give you credit as a background vocalist so you can get your SAG after your AFM SAG after money. What? There are an abundance of income streams from the song. An abundance. We are not asking too much by saying, yo, get out of my money. This is all I got is this little piece. And it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And then the other part I want to talk about is the power dynamic, right? I think it is very easy from the outside looking in to be like, well, you signed the contract, which, by the way, I would like you to know there are no contracts. If you tap into the work that I do, you would see we're advocating for a contract so that we can clearly identify these are the services I'm providing. This is how much money I'm charging, but they don't want to pay us. That's the problem. That's why I'm doing this. They put out records without splits being done, without people agreeing on things. They don't care about what it is that we talking about. They don't. And the reason why I'm speaking and not songwriters who've written for her is because they can't, because they sign an NDA. And so they come to people like me because I'm an activist and an advocate, and this is what I do. This is what I do. I've been doing this for the last almost 4 years now. I did not just get here. This is not some happenstance all of a sudden, why are you coming for Beyonce? No, that's not what this is. And I also want you to know that when I come to the internet, it is at the end of something. It is not at the beginning. I'm not messy like that. Also, this is not an attack. You guys have to learn how to perceive accountability way better, because accountability is not a negative thing. Accountability is an opportunity to grow. Accountability is an opportunity to evolve. That's it. And you could fight it, or you could welcome it and bloom and evolve. Evolution is the thing that's for sure that none of us outrun. This bitch is gonna keep going, whether we fight it or not. Because that's just God. That is just God. It's like so many people swimming against the current to try to be right when you know you're wrong. You know it's wrong to steal people's livelihood when it's all they got. You know it's wrong. You know it's wrong. You know it's wrong. And for the people who, you know, like the Beehive, listen, I know that's y'all queen and I respect it. I'm not up here being disrespectful to Beyonce at all. At all. But I'm also not about to not speak about something that is impacting so many people in my orbit. This is, like I said, this is not some happenstance. Oh, I just decided to like say this. No, I can't tell you how many people I know. And since all of this happened, so when everything started going viral yesterday, the writers and producers that I'm talking about in these videos, almost all of them hit me and said, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for speaking for me because I can't speak for myself. And by the way, today I got a copy of a Beyonce Parkwood NDA. I'm not done reading it, but I got a copy of it. And I can say from reading it so far, I understand why they're not saying nothing. That joint is ironclad. Of course they're not saying nothing. Would you say something and blow your whole life up, blow up your career, blow up everything you do? It don't work like that. If that was the case, you would say something about your shitty boss. Not saying Beyonce's a shitty boss, but you would say something about your shitty boss or your shitty circumstances or your shitty circumstances. These are shitty circumstances. To not be paid for your work is a shitty circumstance. To have to do this, like I've done 3 protests so far, and like I can't tell y'all how heartbreaking it is for me to have to stand outside of record labels in the street and advocate about this. It's heartbreaking. When I came in the music industry, people were thriving. People were making money. I seen it. I seen the houses. I've walked through them. I've ridden in the cars. Bought by music. Bought by songs. That whole thing of like one song could change your life is true. Or it used to be. That shit is real. And it just disappeared. When I wrote Replay, that was when iTunes was a thing. So it went platinum sales. The first check for Replay was $80,000. My first publishing check was the first one. I mean, half of it went to my publisher, so 40,000 went to me, but the first check was 80 grand. That is not happening like that no more. That's all I made a couple hundred. It's not happening like that no more. Not unless the song goes to radio and shit. Even then, I don't know. I don't even know what that looked like anymore. But the odds of it going to radio is slim to none. And then that's a whole game as well. And that's also a dying format. But how is it right to have the same product, and because the format is different, the price of the product is different? What? These glasses are these glasses. Whether you go into the store and buy them, whether you buy them online, whether you pay for them in a payment plan, these glasses are these glasses. And the people who made them deserve to be paid for them. That's the bottom line. That's not wrong to say. That's not too much to ask. The reason why y'all are outraged that I have something to say is because it's polarizing when people speak truth to power. It's confusing. People are like, why is she not scared? I have all these people hitting me. You know, I just hope everything is okay with you. I'm fine. I don't fear men. I don't fear people. I fear God. I fear staying the same. I fear what it feels like keeping all of this shit in. I can't tell y'all how much torture it has been carrying all of this around. For a 17-year career, I've been speaking out for 4 years. This shit almost killed me, literally. For real. For real. Suicidal ideations, for real. And when people say selling your soul, it's like a little bit at a time. This is it. Every single time you give somebody publishing that they didn't deserve, selling a little piece of yourself because you know you're not okay with it. And you know you can't afford it. But it's the game. It is what it is. This is how it is. This is how it's always been. That shit is so played. You know how many things were how they were that were changed? Could you imagine if somebody said that about your right to vote or fucking slavery? That was a law. It was how it was. And people fought to change it because it was fucking wrong. Just because things are a standard or a precedent and it's been like this forever, don't make it right. No matter who it is. No matter who it is. And every single time that you allow somebody to dim your light, every single time that you allow somebody to take from you, you feed the beast. You feed the machine that says this is okay when we all know it's not. Who is the easiest person to exploit? A marginalized person. Somebody who is vulnerable and doesn't have the resources or the support system to advocate for themselves and fight back the way all y'all are talking about we should be doing. Songwriters should just be tougher. These are the comments that I'm getting. Y'all just need to work harder. Very America. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps but ain't got no boots. How'd that work? To act like there's not privilege and hierarchy, it just is like it's delusional. There's such a big power dynamic when it comes to an artist versus a songwriter. I just named all those income streams. You think they give a fuck about what's going on with us when they could take all of that music and go on a road? They could take that music and go make a music video and make a bunch of money off that shit. They could take that music and they could put it in, they could sync it and shit. They could be sponsored. They could do all kind of stuff. We got one source of income. One. Stay out our money. Back the fuck up. I'm not wrong for saying that. You got a whole lot over there. You don't need no publishing. What are you talking about? Are you kidding me? Somebody like Beyonce specifically, you're rich as fuck. You are rich as fuck. And like the you know, the music industry has always been like this, right? Like they've always wanted to create this illusion that the artist is writing the song or it's not authentic or something like that. That's bullshit. That's just not true. There are so many phenomenal artists that don't write songs. There are, and that's fucking fine. That is fine. But to steal their credit and to steal their livelihood when it's the only thing they have is dirty fucking work. That shit is exploitation. That is abuse of power. That's just the truth. It's the truth. It is the truth. I have been trying to get artists, record companies, publishing companies, producers, everybody to get on the same page. Because the reality is all those people that I just named have all more leverage than the songwriter does in this process. The producer has more leverage because they're going to get points. They're going to get a fee. They're going to get participation in a sound exchange royalties. And so they have more of an incentive to sell the record. I've been through this. Me being like, no, I'm not giving away the publishing. And then the producer being upset with me because I'm messing up the play. But they're mad at me because they're about to get a bag that I'm not about to get. They're about to get points that I'm not about to get. They're about to get sound exchange royalties that I'm not about to get. I'm only getting publishing. So no, I'm not giving this artist my publishing. It's the only thing I have. So you got the producers. And listen, all producers are not like this. There are plenty of producers who want to see the songwriters get paid too, who pay them out of their cut. But honestly, if I was you, if you're a producer, I wouldn't be paying nobody out of my money. I wouldn't sell them records unless the label paid everybody. You get your money, we get our money. These are billion-dollar companies. And when you're working with an artist as big as Beyonce, you're not gonna tell me she ain't got the budget. What? Come on. Come on. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. These are decisions. These are choices. This is fucking capitalism. Spend the least amount of money to make the product so that you can make the most money. That's what this is. Songwriters are suffering because of it. And I'm not fucking having it. I'm just not. So I pray, for real, that artists see this moment as an opportunity. I pray that Beyonce sees this moment as an opportunity. And I hope that she answers the call. I hope that her humanity shows up in this moment, and she looks at her life, and she looks at her family, and she looks at her circumstances, and she says, these people deserve this too. They earned it. They worked for it. We shouldn't have to beg to get paid off the biggest artist in the world. And also, I just want to add, the reason why I shared my stories, like my own personal stories, is because I wanted to show y'all how much this precedent is set, right? Like, you know, I saw people saying, like, oh, that was, you know, messed up. She brought in Zendaya. Wasn't she 16? Yeah, she was a kid. But this is like, as my good friend Drew would say, baked into the cake. This is the process, the expectation that the artist is just going to get publishing just cause. That she doesn't even need to be aware because the team is going to put that into motion. It's wrong, but it's baked in. It's part of the thing. With the Seven situation, I remember going back and, well, I wasn't going back and forth. My manager was going back and forth with her manager. And I remember her manager being like, you know, oh, is Tiffany being a problem? You know, we already agreed with the producer that that Seven was going to get publishing, you know, and writer credit off the top. And I'm like, how are you going to agree to give somebody my agree? How you going to agree to give somebody my publishing and my writer credit? What? And by the way, I found out that that wasn't even true. But I was like, no, because I'm not making enough. I'm not going to make enough money. I will never forget that because at that point, I was in a publishing deal. I was signed to Universal and the Underdogs, right? And I had what's called an MDRC in my deal, minimum delivery release commitment. So, you know, there's all these terms on, you know, or all these different, like, what's the word? Limitations on what counts towards your deal, right? One of the things that didn't count towards my deal was EPs. So when I worked with Seven, this was when she was signed to Atlantic, she was working on an album. I wouldn't have worked with her if she was working on an EP because EPs don't count towards my deal. So it would have been a dub for me. It's like so the way it works with an MDRC is, I don't know, I ain't even gonna get into it because it's complicated. But just know, I wrote the song by myself. I own 50% of the publishing. And so if you have an MDRC and you're trying to move through it, having a song that you got 50% on is a big chunk into your MDRC if your MDRC is low. Mine was like 2 songs, I think. So that was a big chunk. So then I find out that it's an EP, and so now it's not going to count towards my deal, and they want publishing. I was like, no, I'm not getting paid for this. I'm not getting paid for this upfront. I got 50% of the publishing that doesn't even count towards my deal. It's EP, so it doesn't count towards my deal. You just want me to keep taking L's? No. Oh, is Tiffany being difficult? Yes. Yes, Tiffany is being difficult. The fuck? What? Seven ended up having 10% of the song anyway. And you know, I don't even know if she knows the story. Because this was her management that did this. But my point is like, you know, this is your crew, right? So like your crew, they run your business. So you need to know what's going on with your business, because these are the things that are going on, and it's not okay. It's not okay. What? Why would the fact that artists who have record deals have the expectation, like that's literally it. It's like, I'm the artist, I have a deal, this is it. You should be grateful. No, that's not how that works. At least not for me. I don't operate like that. Fame don't pay the bills. It doesn't. Saying you have a song on Beyonce does not pay the bills. It gets you clout. Fine. Get you in the next room to not get paid. It might get you into a party to bump into an executive that'll get you on another project to not get paid. And maybe you get to be the 1% who does get paid. There's very, very, very small amount of people who get paid. And those are the people at the top of the food chain who have all the politics in their favor. My light died. Hold on. They have all the politics in their favor. Like it's not a fair game. There's a lot of leverage. It's very lopsided. So, well, I'm gonna go because my light died, and I've been on here for a minute, and I feel like I said what I wanted to say. And oh, boom, there goes the light. I said what I wanted to say for the most part, and I hope that y'all understand a bit more about the process of how songwriters make money, and why I'm speaking up about this, and why more songwriters should speak up about this, and why you as the consumer should care about this. Because people like me and the homies are writing y'all favorite songs. So my homies that are in my DMs right now saying thank you to me for speaking up about this wrote one of your favorite songs off that damn project. They did. They did. And they deserve to eat. They deserve to thrive. All these people that are working on Act 2 or already worked on Act 2, they deserve to eat. They deserve to thrive. That's it. That's it. That's all. Hold on. Let me look at some of the... Hold on. I'm looking at some of your questions. Outside of Beyonce, should other big artists be called out? I want to say to that specifically, the reason why I'm calling out Beyonce is because that's who all of these writers are coming to me about. This is not some like attack. I've been talking about this shit. And if you tap into the work that I do, I've been talking about this shit for a long time. And so, yes, I think every artist that does this should be called out. And when I start finding out more, when I get the receipts, because I got the receipts on this. When I get the receipts, oh, don't you worry. More artists is coming to y'all. It's not just B. And also, I called out Zendaya. I called out Tamar. I called out Seven. And see, here's y'all problem, right? Y'all are looking for me to call out a bunch of artists as big as Beyonce. All of them do it. All of them. All of them. Are you scared of not working after this? No, I quit songwriting in 2020. I don't give a fuck about writing for no damn artists. They don't pay no money. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I don't care. I've done it already. I've written songs for 17 years and I still write songs. Look, it's a studio right there. Make records as much as I want. Release music as much as I want. And honestly, this don't stop people from hitting me and asking me for records. People been asking me for records since I quit. So no, I'm not worried about that. I know my worth. I know my value. And I don't let any of these people determine my worth or value. So if that means that they don't want to work with me because I won't allow them to fuck me over, so be it. Why would you want to work with somebody that wants to fuck you over? What? I don't want to work with those people. So good they don't want to work with me. Bye. Let's see. Linda Perry been saying this. You are right. I just want to say you are very brave, and I pray you help make the change that is needed. I pray that I help make the change too. Are you annoyed by people only hearing Beyonce's name because that's eating me up and I'm not you? What do you mean just hearing Beyonce's name? I think for me, it's frustrating that people only care about the like massive A-list celebrity. You know, there are plenty of artists that do this, but the reason why everybody is shocked and there's this, you know, viral moment is because I'm talking about Beyonce, you know, and it's like, you should care about everybody. You should care. You're human. We're people. We're fucking people. Celebrities are people. Beyonce is a person. The people that work with her are people. They got a mom and a dad and a brother and a sister. Maybe, I don't know. I'm making shit up. But they have a family. They have a life. They have a world. Beyond all this music shit. Beyond all of this shit that y'all see on the internet. Beyond all of that. And you know what pays for that shit? Your J-O-B. Okay? Job. The same way you want to pay your rent on the first of every month, we want to pay our rent on the first of every month too. Period. That just is. That just is. And I think that we can all agree on that. I'm proud of you. Thank you. I admire your courage to expose the lowballing that songwriters writing your favorite songs. God gonna bless you for this too. You're gonna prosper into something great soon. Thank you. All right, y'all. Wait. Are songwriters like Nisha getting paid? I don't know if Nisha's getting paid. I hope Nisha's getting paid though, because Nisha's doing a lot of work. She deserves to be getting paid. So since you don't right now, what do you do for income? So I run a nonprofit called the 100 Percenters, and I still get royalties from my songs, believe it or not, because I did write some songs that did make some money. I actually still make decent money off of my vocals on replay, believe it or not. And yeah, I don't know, I'm a hustler. I make money. I make money doing all kind of shit. But I don't just rely on music. I make content. I do deals for content. I do all kind of stuff. But I'm not a one-trick pony anymore because it don't work like that anymore. And yeah, so. But my main focus is running my nonprofit, the 100 Percenters. And I put everything I have into that. And yeah, I want to see the industry change. Because shit, if we could change it, I'd probably write a song again. I'm just not writing because it don't make no money. My comments are off because I don't want the commentary. I don't want the commentary while I'm talking. It's distracting. So yeah, that's why my comments are off. And my comments are off on my Instagram because I don't tolerate hate speech. There's been a few things that I've spoken out about. I turned my comments off last time, after speaking out about this guy named Brandon Silverstein. And there was so much anti-Semitism in my comments and I ain't playing that shit. So I turned them shits off. And they've been off since then because a lot of y'all don't know how to act. And my comments being off is a boundary for me. This work is hard work and I don't ingest all that everybody has to say. Because to be honest with you, I know what I'm talking about. And so the commentary is not what I'm here for. I'm here to deliver the message and to hopefully educate you and show and explain this work and what it is that I'm doing that's front facing so that you can understand. But as far as what people have to say, the commentary about my decisions or about the advocacy or about anything that I'm doing, I tune it out literally because it's noise and I don't have time for noise right now. I'm trying to get people paid. You feel me? All right, y'all. It's been real. Much love. I appreciate y'all. I hope that this live gave you some more insight and understanding. And yeah. All right. Bye.